Hello everyone, my name is Christian and welcome to my hobby blog. Today we are doing the final, the final animated, or Batman the Animated Series review. We have been going episode by episode. I thought there was 104 of them. There are actually 120, I think. 110, my apologies. So I kind of underestimated it, but we are here. I think we're both very relieved, very happy. But before we get into our feelings about finishing up, I want to welcome back Cultflixfix24. How are you doing?
Thank you, Christian. I'm doing well, man. Thanks for asking. It's always an honor to be on this show, man. And man, I'm just really excited. We're on the last season, and it's been a long run here, but I mean, I've had fun and all, and I'm glad we're on the last season. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Glad to get it out of the not out of the way, but done with. And it's been a total like nostalgia feeling to go through this again. So thanks again for having me.
Yeah, no problem. This has been a lot of fun for me because I did not grow up on this. I'd never seen an episode before, and I feel like I say the same shit every fucking episode about how I've never seen an
Me
episode
too.
before. But I really enjoyed doing this series. Um, I think it was a bigger bite than I expected because I remember we were joking, and I don't think I texted you this, but I thought about texting you this on like Monday or Tuesday, where I was like, we were talking about how we should be done by October because we were going to do a Withering Watch Pile October special, and we were like, dang, we didn't finish the Batman episodes. We'll do a Christmas one. That'll be fun. And then we got to Christmas, and we weren't done yet. I was thinking about that. It was making me laugh
Yeah.
so hard on Monday. I was like, God, this was really uh, a
Hmm.
substantial series because there's so much to talk about, and it's not linear, which
Uh,
it would be easy because we'd be like, hey, like there's cliffhangers we want to keep watching, but each episode is a self-contained story, and I really enjoyed this set, both your half and my half, so much. There was like two episodes I think I didn't care for, and that was it. The rest were either slightly above average to great. So, what were your initial impressions with this set?
I'm pretty much on the same thoughts as you. There's two that I could speak of that I didn't really care for, but overall it was entertaining. It kept me going. I like how they change up stuff with character build up, all that. Like the way the the episodes look. But yeah, overall, like I above average to great. I'm the same thoughts as you and opinions. So yeah.
I'm really relieved that it ended out on such a bang. Because I think we were both kind of worried about that after the end of last episode, where we were like, all right, this is the final disc. Like, let's see how it is. And I had a tiny worry about it, but I mean, I haven't heard any, like, huge controversies, that everyone hated the ending or whatever. Like, nobody. I have heard no negativity around the show, and I can see why now. Sure, I was
Uh-huh.
slogging through a lot of it, and I do. I don't want to. I don't want to say I apologize for it because I do feel that there were a lot of really sloggy, below average episodes. But overall, this was a very solid series, and it's nice to finally be part of the conversation. I think because I've seen these. There's so many memes that are rooted in the imagery in the Batman series, and it was funny to watch uh, out for those frames where you see Batman going like this or Batman crying in the rain because that's a really popular meme. I mean, there's so many. Oh, the most classic one, him smacking somebody. Although that's more from the comic. But, I mean, there's so many Batman related memes, let alone the Zack Snyder ones, because that's the biggest memes out there because, I mean, everybody memes on it. So I mean, that's how meme culture works. The unexpected happens and things become memes because it's weird. Memes are hard to explain. But
Yeah.
is there anything else you wanted to mention before we jump into the episodes? Well, I guess before we jump into what we've been watching lately.
No, I think you explained pretty much everything there. I really enjoyed this season. I thought it got me. I'm gonna talk about that later, but then I mean, it was revived good, so I'm satisfied, and I think it went out in a good note. I don't have complaints, and that's usually rare because I usually do complain on last seasons, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this one's satisfied my needs. No complaints here.
Yeah,
But
and
yeah, that's all I pretty much have to say.
cool. And before we go into the episodes, I had for those who don't know, because I mean, me and you have talked about it before we hopped on, but there was an idea I had this morning, and I was so pissed at myself because I was like, this would have been a great segment to have from the beginning, and it was a segment I thought up of this morning, like try and think of something fun and unique to do for the episode, and my idea was to kind of give a really quick what we've been watching lately because we haven't done a Withering Watch Pal in a while. So I think people would like to at least see us talk about some movies and not as too in depth as we usually go with the Withering Watch Pal, but we can just kind of give quick thoughts, kind of go back and forth and kind of talk about it. Thoughts. How many movies do you have on hand to show? I only have three.
I got four movies, about one more that
Okay.
I've watched recently.
Yeah, you can go
Yeah, so it's
first.
okay. So I'll go with I mean, I watched this the other night from 88 Films. It's Hell of the Living Dead. I like my Italian trash, so I had to guarantee to pick this one. But yeah, this film's always been a favorite of mine. I've owned it on multiple copies from DVD to Blu-ray to 4K now that we get from 88 Films. This is a straight like Dawn of the Dead ripoff, but it's done so good. It's like entertaining. You got good gore effects from kills to bites, and I mean the score is even great. It's got the Italian feel to it, but yeah, I watched this the other night. It still holds up very well. I mean, I it's one of those that turn your brain off and just enjoy. So yeah, I recommend Hell of the Living Dead. It also goes by Virus, has other names. Uh,
Is that a
there's
video
another name
nasty?
on it.
Looks like one.
Could be. I don't know. I'm not sure on that, but yeah, there's the alternate cover. It goes by Virus also.
Ooh,
But
that's
I
sick.
highly recommend this if you like your like zombie or um I know Burial Ground. I know you're not too key on that, but this goes in that trope of those type of films. But yeah, this one's fun. A lot of fun. You're gonna hear Dawn of the Dead throughout it. It's hilarious.
Oh, that's
Even
great.
the score.
It's
Yeah,
funny
all the-
because
yeah.
I did a big 88 films haul pretty recently, but I accidentally pre-ordered an item. I think that's coming out in like June or July. So that a bunch of the 88 films, Hong Kong movies, and all that are like stuck right now in the shop until the June item shows up, and I'm so mad 'cause I want to watch
Oh man,
that movie you just showed. I forgot the name. City of the Living
it's
Dead.
Hell of the Living Dead.
Hell
Yeah,
of the Living Dead. I keep thinking of City
yeah,
because they just did a big, not 88 films, but it
yeah.
was a big 4K of that, of a City. But
Sounds very similar.
all these Italian rip-off movies.
Yeah, oh, they come in bunches, man. That one's one of the good ones, though. It's highly
Mm-hmm.
entertaining.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
I have my first
So
movie. Huh?
okay. All right, go for it. I'll just go for it. Are
Okay.
we're gonna take turns, right, on that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna take turns. It's lagging a
Okay.
little bit, so
Okay.
I apologize. But my
Probably
first
my
movie,
internet.
yeah, my first movie that I'm showing, I guess this is not in any order because I didn't think about it. But this is a movie by Third Window Films. The director is Ishii Sogo. This is a Japanese movie
Hmm.
that is absolutely bonkers, and I had a whole lot of fun with it. It is the low budget version of Tetsuo the Iron Man. And this movie is bananas.
Mm.
It is called Electric Dragon 8000 Volt. I think is the Volt. It's a really clunky title. It has the
Oh
most
wow.
badass like alternate art, and this is our main
Oh yeah, that's
character
dope.
right here. And he basically gets electrocuted as a child underneath a tree because he's being a little asshole. And his parents are yelling at him to like, come inside, come inside. You're gonna get hit by lightning. He's like, fuck you, mom. And then he gets hit by lightning. And so he is able to channel electricity within his body. And it's kind of stuck in his body. He has no outlet for it. So naturally, you go get yourself an electric guitar and you channel it through that way by playing the music, doing the electric guitar, like heavy metal riffs. And if you do a guitar solo, the lightning intensifies. It is lovely. I love the movie. It was a lot of fun. It's not a 5-star. It's not well made, in my opinion, in terms of the effects. But Tetsuo the Iron Man is very low budget for what it is. And I called this movie the low budget version of that. Like, this is a
Oh
very
wow.
low budget movie. And there's a lot of charm within this movie. The main actor is just having so much fun. There's a lot of shots of them just roaming Tokyo while he's like playing on a guitar on a platform, just like in Tetsuo, when he's like in that giant like metal throne thing and he's like speeding down the streets. It's exactly the same thing, except this guy's on playing a guitar. It's fun. It's so much fun. Uh, this is a great like Friday night movie. What's your next movie?
That sounds awesome. I saw that on Orbit DVD.
Oh,
They
it's
had
so
it there.
good. I
Yeah.
I think everyone should watch it. Like even if you're not a regular Japanese film uh, watcher, I mean, there's a lot of fun with it. They're not trying to make art; they're having fun. And
That's
uh,
cool.
oh, also the soundtrack is like synthesizers and heavy metal the entire time. So no falling asleep.
That's good. All right, I'll go on to my second movie here. It's a Kino Lorber edition of Dress to Kill.
Ooh, yeah.
I watched this for the first time, very sleazy cover on there. And I've had this on my list for so long. I finally got to it. This is an excellent film, Brian De Palma, murder mystery with Giallo feels to it, even though it's not Italian. But man, this one kept me entertained. Probably one of my favorite De Palma films. Got Michael Caine, who does amazing in this film, but his job, I guess you could say. But yeah, it's man, I kind of guessed the killer right away,
Oh yeah, it's easy.
which which I was right. That was a little of a bummer, but other than that, this movie is put so well together, and you get like De Palma's uh, camera shots, like he's a master at that. Get it throughout that, and there's just an elevator scene in this film that just stuck with me, man. It's so brutal. I mean, you get the blood sprayed. I don't know if spray, but like dropping all over and stuff, and you bring out the authentic blade from you see in Jello films. So I was really impressed with that. But yeah, this highly recommend this film if you have not seen it. Really good. It's Dress to Kill. I don't know if you've seen it, but I
uh,
feel like I'm late to the party. So,
I mean,
but yeah.
it's very good. I really enjoy it. It's been a number of years. I think 2015, no, about 2016 is when I watched it. Because that was around the time when I
Mhm.
started film collecting, and I was looking for the Criterion C in my school library in the DVD section. And that was one of the first ones I watched. I didn't know who Brian De Palma was. That's how early in my film collecting I was. But yeah, it's awesome. The kills are so nasty.
Yeah, that stood out to me definitely in the film. And it's eerie. The atmosphere is just like, yeah, man, it gives you the chills at times.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know. There's some about that. Like the killer has a blonde wig. I don't want to give too much.
It's very psycho.
It's a woman, but is it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
I,
chilling.
I've always heard Dress to Kill described as an active dialogue with Psycho and kind of reimagining it in a
I can
much
see that.
more effective way, in my opinion. Not to uh,
Yeah,
lower the reputation of Psycho, but I think Dress to Kill does what Psycho lacked in very well.
yeah,
Mostly
yeah.
the
The
kills
time,
because
time,
they use fucking
time
chocolate.
era's different.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But
But yeah, I could see a lot of Psycho in it.
yep. So my next one that I saw, just to be quick, is the Infernal Affairs trilogy from Criterion. I got this on the sale. This is a Hong Kong uh, cop drama action film. Not really focused on the action. Is a lot more about the character relationships. But I loved this trilogy. It's basically just one long movie. I've heard the second one is basically a remake of the first one, but it's technically also a prequel. And Anthony Wong is in this movie, who was in Ebola
Nice.
syndrome. That's how I know him most, although he's like a big Hong Kong actor. And he is so different from Ebola syndrome. Because in that movie, he's a crazy man. He fucking just literally spreads Ebola everywhere. And in this movie, he's just like really uh, cut cop who wears a suit, and he is so like terse. He sort of reminds me of Giancarlo Esposito from Breaking Bad. I forgot his character's name. I feel so bad. Gus Fring. He reminds me of him. It's really eerie. While I'm thinking about him in Ebola syndrome, screaming his lungs out, spitting at people, like, his performance is really good. And we also have like all the other major Hong Kong actors in this movie. So I highly recommend this. It's 3 movies too for like $50. It's very good movies too. So
Is it like a trilogy? Like they all? Is
yeah,
it
it's
like a trilogy? Like one, two, three? Yeah.
yeah, they're made by the same people. The second one is a prequel, but it's also a remake. And the third one, I don't know what the situation is
Mm.
with that, but it's a pretty self-cohesive story. I mean, you can watch it all in one day. I felt like I should have marathon them, but that would have been really sort of dampering on the spirits because the movie is all about sort of the um, just all the different uh, systems of power within a cop department or police department, and sort of all the relationships between the local gangs, the local politicians, the local millionaires, and how the millionaire funds this crime guy, but that crime guy informs for this cop, but this cop sells back the drug. Like, there's all these different relationships going on, and that's definitely the highlight of the movie for me. But there's also really great shootouts. So if you like that, there's plenty of them.
Yeah, dude, that sounds right up my alley. I like those kind of crime cop films. I watch those a lot, so seems interesting. I just watched the Hong Kong the triple feature from Vinegar Syndrome, and
Oh yeah,
Anthony Wong's in that shit crazy again too. So
he's everywhere,
so
man.
it would be interesting to be interesting to see him in a serious role because he
It's
is like
eerie.
Ebola syndrome in those Hong Kong films too.
He has a really wide range, like in his abilities.
Yeah, that trilogy should have just been called the Anthony Wong trilogy, honestly, from Vinegar Syndrome, because he's in every film,
Oh,
like
is he?
different characters.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, I need to get it. I assume it's not sold out because they did like 6,000 copies or something.
I don't think so. Yeah, yeah, they're good, man. I liked them. There's, they're not the best. I mean, there's better out there, but it'll keep you entertained.
That's what matters. What's your
Yeah.
last one? Well, I guess your third one.
Uh, third one here. I'm gonna go with one I just watched last night. You probably saw me post it. The Vagrant.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a
Uh,
sick slip
yeah,
cover.
with
I loved it.
Bill Paxton. Michael Ironside, one of my favorite actors, is on this too. But yeah, this one's a lot of fun. It's comedy mixed with horror. I had never seen
Ooh.
this. I guess I'm late to the party too.
I've
But
never even heard of it, personally.
I know it's available for Scream Factory too. They have this,
Hmm.
but I got this one. I pre-ordered it. I like the art, cover art, and this is probably the art on the Scream Factory. It's the more well-known art. But
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I
yeah,
recognize. I almost got that recently, and I was like, it's not striking me. And then, of course, the Vinegar Syndrome one was like, I want to get that. Or every video, I want to get that now. Like,
yeah. This I it didn't appeal to me either, but I watched it, man, and it's a blast. Bill Paxton is awesome in this. Michael Ironside, one of my favorite actors, he plays like a tough cop, and it's wacky, man. It just has a story where you're guessing through the whole movie what's reality and what isn't, and I like that type of stuff. And it's like I thought I was guessing the whole movie already, and I'm like I got it completely switched on me. I was like, nope, I'm wrong. So yeah, I love when I'm fooled or surprised like that in a film. But yeah, this one's not one. This is like where they do horror and comedy and they do it well. So
mm-hmm.
it's there's some good kills in this too. All practical effects. So there's
I
no
love
CGI
practical.
really in this one. But yeah, I watched the interview with Michael Ironside too. That's on this, and he was talking about how no one talks about this movie. Like they bring it up. He's at horror cons, and he said it's not brought up as much as other films. And he's like, I don't know why. I can't explain it to you guys. He's all,
Is
this
it
is
a
one of my better work on a horror comedy. He said,
is it a new
but
interview with him?
yeah, it's a new one, and
What?
it's
Oh
it,
my gosh.
it's very heartfelt because he kind of breaks down talking about Bill Paxton. His eyes
Oh
water,
wow.
and he's like, man, that guy was so good. He's so caring and giving. He's like, when you work with him, he goes for everyone but himself, and
Hmm.
he's like, we had a blast. There's like a thing where they said they were in a fight scene where they're fighting with like a chair, and I guess they fell over and landed in a 69 position. And both of them were like staring at each other's crotch, and they both look at
What
each
do we
other
do?
like, go up, and he's like, they look at each other and go, I love you. They tell each other and laugh. So I was like, it's entertaining, that interview, man, with
Mm-hmm.
Michael Ironside. But yeah, I recommend it. The Vagrant. I hope I said it right, but early
Yeah,
90s.
that's right. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'll have to keep my eye out for it. And I guess the Arrow edition is the kind of remaster. They did a better
It's a
restoration of
great
it.
transfer.
Okay, cool. Because it was pretty cheap from Shout Factory. So that's why I didn't get it. I was like, it's probably a bad restoration.
This one is clean, man. I'm telling you, this transfer.
hmm. Well, I can talk about a very good transfer of a Criterion movie I've been waiting on forever because I'm sick of having the Kino edition of it. And I've talked about this movie a million times, so I'm not going to dwell on it. But Lost Highway, I got the Criterion 4K.
Oh yeah.
And I rewatched it again because I rewatch it every few months because David Lynch is one of my favorite directors. The restoration is so fucking good on this one. I watched the
Wow.
there's like a new documentary and conversation between oh my gosh, I think it's not no, it's not on this release, but it's on this release. It's a new conversation with Kyle MacLachlan and Laura Dern, filmed this year. But on this release, they have a new, not really new, but they have the feature length documentary all about the making of this movie, and that was so good. I learned so much about the movie because this movie does not make any fucking sense to me. And that cleared up a lot of answers. I still have no idea what's going on, but I sort of get the mindset now of what I should be in while watching it. So, which is very much like a gaslighting sort of narration throughout the movie. So, yeah, it's great. This is a really great release. I can't wait to watch the 4K disc of it. I watched the Blu-ray disc because I don't have a 4K.
Yeah.
So,
I just picked that up on the sale. I got that one. So I got to still check it out, watch it.
yeah, I need to get rid of my Kino edition of
I'm curious
it.
about the transfer.
Oh, it's so good. What about your last
Yeah, I
movie?
got I got one more movie here. Where is it at? let's see if I can find it here. Oh shoot.
You on the
Sorry.
spot.
Oh shoot, here it is. Here it is. I watched The Haunting of Julia, the
Ooh.
4K from Scream Factory, and this one has Mia Farrow from Rosemary's Baby in it. It's
Ooh.
a '70s haunting film, like haunted house film or whatever. But man, it's real tragic. This one got to me because, like, as a parent, there's like a situation that happens in here. I'm not gonna spoil it, but
Mm-hmm.
it puts the tension in the film right away. And this one's eerie. It's very slow, so if you're not into a slow burn, you probably won't be into this. But it has a good payoff at the end. I thought
Ooh.
the soundtrack is psychotic, dude. It's just like it makes you feel like you're in outer space, dude. When you're watching this film, the soundtrack's very bizarre. I loved it, and you get like it's a good story. I mean, you got like this evil, real sad, tragic story that leads to like this paranormal events that happen with this lady who moves into a new house and stuff, and it's very haunting, and it's one of those that the ending kept me like it stayed in my head for a while. I was like, like I love when a movie does that, and like I said, it's very slow, but it definitely worth a watch. I recommend it. It's The Haunting of Julia, or also goes by Full Circle. Got another
Ooh.
name, but Mia Farrow's awesome. I loved her in Rosemary's Baby. She's just as good in this one. But I compare this to the Changeling, but the Changeling's like a
Mm.
masterpiece. This one ain't, but it's definitely worth a watch. But it's in that trope of like the Changeling. It has that creepy, eerie atmosphere.
Are you there?
Movies, like haunting movies. Oh, it cut off.
Oh yeah, I cut out there for about five
Oh
seconds.
shoot, man! Damn internet.
But I've heard that movie is very similar to. Oh god, Don't Look Now. I heard it was very like similar. It'd be a great double feature with it. Is that true?
Yeah, it's slow. Oh, it's very slow. It's slow, but it picks up. I mean, the ending is worth the watch alone. But yeah, heck of a film. That's all I got on my pile. If you have, so if you got
So
any
I have a very
share.
quick show and tell.
Mhm.
I watched a 4K of it.
Oh,
It's fucking good. It's
is
really
it?
fucking
Oh
good.
man, I got it on the shelf, but I haven't seen it yet.
It looks so good. Oh my gosh. I watched it on 4K. I went home or to my parents' house to see it in 4K, and I was like, okay, yeah. Yeah, they took the time to do the restoration. This looks so fucking good.
Uh,
And yeah, will probably do a review of it soon, so I don't want
uh,
to talk too much about it, but are we ready for some Batman 30 minutes in?
yeah, yeah. I'm forgetting about the Cape Crusader here.
On his last episode, too. His
Yeah,
last appearance on my channel.
yeah. Uh, and we're talking Martin.
Mm-hmm.
No problem with that though.
Oh, yeah. This is episode 99,
But
by the way. I know you
90. Okay,
ask about the numbers.
I lost. I can't count. I guess on the series I keep losing count, but but I started off right for 6 episodes,
Yep.
and then you go after. Okay, so I'll start now with, and this I'm gonna say real quick that I started this, and man, I was like, these first 2 episodes, I'm just gonna say I was very bored right away off the bat, but
Hmm.
maybe maybe that's just my opinion. Episode 99, it's Mean Seasons. I'm just gonna start over.
Yeah.
Um, so this is we got a new villain named Calendar Girl. She's kind of wears this eerie mask. It's kind of I was trying to remember a Criterion movie, but I couldn't right now. It's an old
Is
one
it,
where she has like this.
what is it? Something, face, face, eyes without a face, eyes without a
Yeah,
face. Yeah.
there you go. She had that kind of look to her in this episode. I couldn't remember the name for shit, but her, it's funny because she has like a crew and they're like topless men. They look like Chippendale dancers,
Mm-hmm.
and that's fighting Batman and Robin and stuff. And it's funny because you have a guy that's aging, he's showing gray hair, and you got Bruce Wayne who's paranoid and he doesn't want to get old, I guess. So he starts to feel his hair and like get paranoid, and he's trying to act young again. So it's pretty hilarious, which happens to a lot of us as we get older, and it's good to see on here. But yeah, this one I don't have much notes. It's about a girl. She's a former model who's done wrong. She's trying to get revenge on the industry who did her wrong. She's wearing a mask, and she's actually a beautiful woman. She's just an older, and I guess no one will hire her because of that. So she's trying to pay him back. She turns demented here on revenge. You got Batgirl showing up, and it's pretty cool because Batgirl and Batman fight a robot T Rex at the end. I like that. But other than that, this wasn't too impressive for me. I'm gonna keep it at below average episode, in my opinion.
Hmm.
But man, it wasn't a good start to this.
Well, to be the other half of the coin, I actually really like this episode. And I only have a few notes on it, and one of
Did you?
it is a line by Bullock, which made me laugh out loud. And he said, "Calendar girls' days are numbered."
What is that? Is that a quote from a movie or
That's from Bullock.
is
He
it from
says that in
something?
this
I'm not.
episode.
Oh, okay. I'm lost here,
It's
man. But
so bad. It just made me laugh a lot. So I was in a good mood,
that
and
sounds funny.
that was like the first, I think, 10 minutes in the first half maybe. And then I said,
Mm.
"Yay, dinosaurs! That's really fun," and that's all I needed for it to be slightly above average. Is sort of what my review of it is.
Yeah, I don't know these. I'm trying to get. I'm gonna go into. That's all I got for that episode. You got anything else
That's it.
for that one? Or okay, I'm gonna go on to the next one here. Episode 100, Critters,
Woo.
and this is another one that fell short for me. I don't know why, but this is a man he's putting hormones in animals. You have like a giant cow that's attacking people just randomly, and I mean he's arrested for this. They investigate him. He's taken to jail. Can't talk here, but he vows revenge, and it's funny because I was saying this villain looks like a mixture of the tall man from Phantasm and the old man singing in the rain in
I didn't even
Poltergeist
think
too.
of that.
I was like, I was laughing like
Oh my
it's like a mixture of that.
god.
But this got like a real country feel to it. You got like some. They live out in a cornfield, like a barn area. Real children of the corn, like. But yeah, we get some pretty cool giant bugs, vultures, and animals that are attacking Gotham. And you got Batman and Kid Robin to the rescue. But yeah, this one is another one that I just couldn't get into. So I'm gonna put it at like a little below average, in my opinion.
Boo! No, that's fine. I understand.
Yeah, I just it's something about these unknown villains. I just can't. They have to really impress me.
Oh yeah.
They're no Scarface.
Oh, Clayface.
Yeah, Clayface.
Hey, where the fuck was he in this section? I don't think a single episode had him.
Sucks, man. Very sad.
Boo! Worst TV show ever. I'm throwing away my box set. Nah, I won't. I'm not that upset. We had a lot of really good Clayface
Have to start a.
episodes.
We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to start a petition. We need Clayface. No, it was good.
Hey, there's rumors he's coming the next Batman. But I actually really liked this episode. I borderline loved it. I love the cow bull hybrid critter thing because it had horns, but at the same time it mooed. I didn't know really what it was doing, but he was causing havoc. Black Phillip from The Witch shows up. We get a black goat with devil horns, and he's speaking to Batman. I mean, where's Anya Taylor-Joy? Well, like, Black Phillip made a cameo in this, so obviously I was gonna love that. Uh,
That's why I didn't like it. Just kidding.
it was mostly the animals I really loved. I'll
Okay.
say. I'm a big
No, it's
animal
cool. I
lover,
get what you're
so
saying.
yeah. But Black Phillip, I mean, that was I really wanted to mention that because I knew you're not a big fan on that movie, but I this episode was so animal focused, and it had nothing to do with
Yeah.
Catwoman, which is usually the case in these animal focused ones, and that was refreshing. I really enjoyed this one. I think it would be like number three. I mean, I didn't rank this at all beforehand, but in my mind, it's this and two others that are like easily my favorites of the section. So interesting that you made it below average. But I do
I'm
understand because
telling
the
you, the
villain
first two.
sucks. He looks cool, but there's nothing else going on with him.
Nah, there's no. There's a thread, of course, but I'm just not. I wasn't into it. But
There's a lot
yeah,
of
this is.
horror influences on this episode, shockingly, with Phantasm,
Yeah,
Children of the Corn. What was the other one you mentioned after Phantasm?
Poltergeist too.
Poltergeist, The
The man
Witch,
singing in the rain.
Singing in the Rain. Like, there's a lot of movie references, and this came out in the '90s, so obviously it didn't reference The Witch, but the other ones is a possibility. So, that was another
Yeah.
cool thing that I didn't really realize until we were talking about it.
That's why I'm surprised I didn't love it. I really like horror theme, but just didn't do it for me. A little short. I mean, I did like the animal aspect, but the villain to me was the problem. He didn't seem too menacing.
He wasn't. No, he was really
But
raspy too in his voice, which is cool. I love a good raspy villain, but he looked cool. That's really it. That's all I had.
so
By the way.
okay. So I'll go on to the next episode here, and this is where it got revived for me. I woke up pretty much, but we got a cult of the cat, and this is a Catwoman coming to the episode. This is cool because you see her animal like gifts. You have a panther that's gonna attack her, a black panther, and she calms it down, pets it, and has it turn on her own enemies, which are pretty interesting because they're like a cult, and they kind of like suck her into robbing him because that's what she does. She's a thief, and that gets them going as they're threatened. They're pretty much brutalizing her pretty good. They have her on the ropes. You see Catwoman pretty much desperate, so she pops up in Batman's Batmobile all of a sudden. He's getting in and she's just right there in the passenger seat, and he kind of freaks out himself, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, "You need a favor, huh?" And she's like, "Yes." And she's like, "I got this pretty much cult after me and they want to pretty much kill me." She's like, "Can you help me?" And all he's like, "Not you got to turn in all the jewelry you've stolen." And she's like, "No, that's not happening." But then after a while, she thinks about it and gives in. So you got Batman assisting her and fighting this cult. It's pretty cool. I like it. They have like these metal claws that pop out, kind of like Wolverine style, and they're fighting. I really like that. They're fighting throughout it, and I mean, Catwoman gets captured. You got Batman. He captures a villain, and they bargain. He finds out where their lair's at. You got Catwoman again robbing these guys. They let her into the cult, kind of, and she ends up stealing from them anyways. Batman shows up, telling her to pretty much change her conscience, but she won't do it. She knocks out Batman to get away. It backfires. They capture him. You got pretty much. Let's see what I got here. Oh, you got a large like tiger fighting. Batman's like in a gladiator dome like arena, and he's fighting a giant cat. It was pretty cool, and kind of looks like a saber tooth on meth or something. I don't know, but it's pretty menacing. But you got a Catwoman who kind of gets a conscience, decides to help Batman. She jumps in, feels bad. You got them fighting him. She calms this cat again. I love like, but to get ripped to shreds from like a from this cat. But I thought these villains were real like kind of menace. They overpowered Catwoman like I've never seen throughout this series. And you see her like she's actually losing Batman too. But they of course they're gonna come up on top. But yeah, it's a good one. I like this one. I have it at above average. I really liked it.
Hmm. Yeah, this one was average for me. I really thought it was fine. I mean, I like the Catwoman aspect. I love the sandpit duel between Batman and the Tiger. That part woke me up. I had fun with that, especially as someone who used to play Dungeons and Dragons. A sandpit is a very classic setting to put your characters in because there's
Uh,
nowhere they can go. They have to fight the creature, and I love that. So, um, I said it was a pretty good episode, a tiny bit above average, but I really remember nothing else. So I'm gonna knock it to average, which is like fine. I mean, it's not bad. I mean,
this is the one that woke me up, honestly. But I'm not gonna say it's like the greatest, but it kept me entertained.
yeah,
Oh, anything else, or I go on to the next one here?
good
So
to go.
we're at what episode?
102.
Episode 102.
Yep.
So this is Animal Act, and this one has Batman. Nightwing comes up on this one, which I really liked. You got Batman, Kid Robin, and Nightwing teaming up. Um, it's real crazy because it starts out with them chasing this criminal. He's like in a suit and a hat, and he's climbing buildings, and has a Nightwing gets there to him. He opens and you find out it's a gorilla, and he's like, Nightwing's like Peaches, he calls him, so he recognizes him, and turns out that it goes into Nightwing's backstory. Has where he was before he was Robin and all that. He grew up on a circus, and I love these backstories that they go into the characters. But you got pretty much old Robin, young Robin bonding together, but they're not in costume. They go to this circus, and he's telling them why because there's a little confrontation with Nightwing and Batman. They're not seeing eye to eye. They don't really work together. So he's pretty much telling him like the history of where he grew up. He meets a girl that he grew up pretty much around that circus. Their families together, parents, and he I think they're like each other. They're in love some way, but it turns out that animals are escaping and vandalizing and attacking people, and she's the suspect because she's the one that controls them or whatever, and it it leads to her, and she's like, I didn't do this. She's trying to investigate what's going on and get to the bottom of this. Meanwhile, you got this clown that's just popping up on Bullock, and I mean Batman. He's doing these pranks, kind of pissing off Bullock. He like hates clowns. He even says it out loud, and kind of a good character. You get into him, but turns out, spoiler alert, the clown is Mad Hatter, which I got really psyched
Yeah.
for because I like that. I like this villain. He's just dressed as the clown, and he's controlling these animals to go do like try to kill and destruct and stuff. And it's just an all-out blast. Anytime Mad Hatter gets on here, he's like putting chips on the animal in the back of their neck to make them turn and mind control them. But it ends up backfiring on him as this girl's pissed off. And I really like this setting, like the circus setting, and I like that kind of stuff, watching horror films and all that. So it really did it for me. But it's funny at the end because they're working at a circus and they got the Kid Robin cleaning animal shit. He's like in the middle of it, just and they're like a little longer or whatever. And but the battle with Mad Hatter and the circus people is cool. He's like controlling them, and they find out what happens. But all around good episode. I really like this one, above average for me.
Yeah. I only have two half sentences written down. The first one says, "Yay, both Robins," because I was not expecting that. And then That has one exclamation point. The next half sentence says Mad Hatter with 3 exclamation points. And then I said slightly above average. So,
Hey, you dug it, so that's cool.
yeah, it was good. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah. All right, so I'll go on to the next one here. We got episode 103, and this
Yep.
is that correct?
Yep.
103. This is called Old Wounds. So we got some more Nightwing in this one. You got Robin battling these bad guys. Nightwing comes to assist him, and this is where we get into the more of the story why Batman and Nightwing had a fallout. They don't work together, and it appears Batman's kind of being an asshole, dude. He's like he's caring about bringing everyone to justice, but at the same time he's doing wrong. You got them pretty much in front of a family, and Batman's roughing up this guy that works with Joker. You got Joker in this episode as well,
Hmm.
and he he's pretty much beating the shit out of this guy in front of his kid and wife, and Robin don't care for that. It's Nightwing as Robin. It's a backflash, but
Hmm.
flashback. I can't talk here, but anyways, that's why he pretty much left and didn't forgive him because of that reason, and also the reason that he's pretty much questioning his leadership, Batman's, and it leads to separation. You got pretty much Bruce Wayne interfering because Barbara Gordon and Robin, well, Nightwing, Grayson, uh, Dickie Grayson or whatever, they have a relationship, and Batman kind of reveals some secrets that gets them in a fight. So he's more pissed off at him, and this just leads to pretty much Batman and Batgirl having to deal with the Joker, his goons. Um, Pretty much Robin, Nightwing has to regain his confidence. He's so hurt over this guy that Batman roughed up in front of his family. He can't get over it. So, which is a bad thing. But towards the end, he finds out Batman's actually a good guy. He helped this guy, and he gets him a job in a family as Bruce Wayne. So he kind of turns and unites again. That's what I liked about this episode. They unite, and you got all of them, Batgirl from Kid Robin, I call him Kid Robin, um, to Nightwing to Batman, all united. So it's put together really well. So I'm going to put this one as another above average because it shows a lot of. I always wondered why Nightwing was doing his own thing, and it explains it in this episode. So that's all I got. You got anything for this episode?
This will be a shock because I'm looking at my note and there's only one sentence and it says, "Did not care for this."
Oh wow!
But as you were talking about it, I was remembering the episode and I was like, wait, I like this episode. Why did I write that down? So I guess
I'm glad I
I
could talk you
confused
into
it.
it.
I must have confused the episodes or something. I put it in the wrong spot. I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was just above average. I mean, it was good. I always love the behind the scenes kind of explanation of why people are the way they are. And I had wondered why Nightwing wasn't with Batman anymore. For some reason in my head, I was like, oh, he graduated. You know, he graduated college. He just stopped doing the life. But then I was like, wait,
Yeah,
he's Nightwing. Like, what is he
yeah.
doing? Why did they leave? And so I never really thought about it until this episode. And it was good. It was fun. I
Good
always love
story all
these.
around.
Yeah, I always love these character exploration episodes. I mean, the best
Yeah,
one, I think, was Puppet Guy. What is his name? Um, Scarface.
Scarface. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was a really good one. But yeah, this one was good. I don't know why I said I did not care for it, but I did. I did a little.
Right. It happens, and then on a one-time watch, you can't fully decide on an episode. It could
hmm
grow on you as well, so it's like it's hard to judge like that.
I
Well,
Yeah, because that's why I always love doing these discussions because I'm talking about. I'm like, why did I not like it? I guess I just wasn't in the mood. Like, and
that's how I am when you're talking about. I'm like, this is entertaining. I don't know why I didn't. like it more than I did.
Mm-hmm. That's about
But
it for me.
okay,
104.
so I'll get into the final sixth episode of mine here. So
Lucky. I love this episode.
we're going with episode. Is this 104? 104.
Yes.
Okay, Demon Within. Love that title. Um, there's a. Okay, I'm gonna call this a brander. Is that what they're auctioning? I don't know what the name of this tool is
I
in
don't
the
know either.
episode, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it a brander. But you start off with an auction. You got a really menacing looking kid. He has like his hair is horns, and he meets Kid Robin. They're talking, and Kid I call him Kid Robin. He right away gets a vibe on him like this guy's kind of strange, and it leads to this auction where they're raffling a brander. It's rumored to have powers of witches and black magic and stuff like that. So you got this kid all intrigued by it. So he starts to bid on it, and then you got this other man that comes in and is they're in a bidding war, and they're going back and forth, and then all of a sudden you just got Bruce Wayne who just tops all of them. He's like $1 million, takes it. They're like all pissed off.
He's that eBay buyer just sniping all the deals.
Yeah, he's just waiting to attack. Like he lets them go at it, and then all of a sudden, last $1 million, they're like done. But it turns out he's that guy that was the adult that was bidding was a friend of Bruce Wayne's. He was trying to help him and get this piece for a reason. Turns out this menacing looking kid calls that the guy's name's Jason, the adult that's bidding with him, and this kid calls him uncle. He's like his nephew, but this guy claims he's not his nephew. So it's a it's a weird relationship, but there's for a reason. This kid is pretty much pretty much a witch. He deals with black magic. He has evil powers, and he wants to get control of this brander, and it gives him power and strength. And when he finally does get this, he we find out his uncle, the guy Jason, can turn into this like creature hero. I forgot his name, but he's really cool looking. He's like a big old beast type looking guy, and he's out for good. But when the nephew gets the power, he sucks him out like a soul. This hero and controls him, and he's has him destroying Gotham and turning evil pretty much. But I mean, you got a really cool sorcery battle between this uncle nephew, has their both powers, and it's pretty cool because when the uncle or whatever loses his superhero, he starts to age. He turns to like a complete old man, and his powers weaken. So he can't battle his nephew as much. But then you got a Batman who outsmarts him, gets that back, and gives him his powers, and that's when you get this sorcery battle where I thought it was freaking awesome, bro. They're just going back and forth and seeing who's stronger. Reminded me of like a kind of sword and sorcery movie where you're just seeing them going back and forth with their magic powers and stuff like that. But there's a really cool scene that I really liked in this that he like lights up the whole sky, just bright light, and you see the cartoon characters of Batman and them turn into drawing sketches, and I was like, that's fucking cool, dude. But I was like, I thought that was awesome. You see the actual sketches just go on. I'm like, that's how they draw them, huh? But
It blew my
anyways,
mind.
yeah, what the hell am I tripping on here? But overall, this one was awesome, above average episode. I loved it.
Yeah, the only thing I have
See,
to add.
see, all new villains aren't bad. I enjoyed this villain.
Yeah, this one was great. I'll just say this is the second episode of 3 that I mentioned earlier that I said were easily the best of this section. This is the second one for me out of 3. And it was awesome. I loved the villain in it. I loved the creepy little kid. I mean, that was straight Omen shit. I mean, that was Damien in the...
He had the horns like that.
Literally, like, it was no subtlety. Like, I'm not shocked more people didn't think he was suspicious. Like, Robin is like, hey, that guy's suspicious. That weirdo with the horns on his fucking head, he's a weirdo, and they're like, no, it's fine.
Yeah,
And
he's
then,
his nephew.
yeah, and then that sketch section that you were talking about is really fucking good. And the magic fight is good. Like, everything's so good in this episode. Like, ended with a bang. I mean,
Yeah, awesome ending to it.
oh, yeah.
But yep, that's all I got on that one. You got anything more you need to say?
I do not.
Believe it's your turn to get
Ah!
started.
Okay. It is now my turn, and boy, did I get hit with the biggest fucking episode right off the bat. I saw the Wikipedia because I copy and paste the summary so I can like quickly summarize it and give my thoughts. And on this one, it's quite long. It talks a whole lot. But this one is episode 105, The Legends of the Dark Knight. A group of Gotham City youths are telling their stories about what they believe the Dark Knight to be like. This episode acknowledges the works of Bill Finger, Dick Sprang, and Frank Miller, which is the obvious show out here. Note, this is from Wikipedia, loosely based on the issue called The Batman Nobody Knows, from Batman issue 250, released July 1973, which is made by Frank Robbins and Dick Giordano. The most interesting part of this is that this contains a direct adaptation of part of the comic Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, which is by Frank Miller, which I think has had a few animated adaptation movies based off of it. But I don't think Christopher Nolan was interested. There's some like thing behind why they didn't use the story, because this is one of the most famous issues in the comic book. I've heard of it before I even knew of this episode, or before I started this series. When I saw that title, The Legends of the Dark Knight, I was like, oh my god, is it this one? Is it the legendary one? And I had no idea. Like, it was just like a sleeper cell piece of information in my head where it just wasn't on the forefront of my mind this entire time we've been doing this. And then when I clicked on the Wikipedia link, it was like this flood of information that I had buried in the back of my head. So it was really cool watching this episode and seeing a whole lot of images and really cool, very well animated sequences. A whole lot better than I expected. And I really like the musical section of this episode where they're trapped in various giant instruments and they're being kind of pushed around on like a guitar, and Batman at one point, Joker's in this, he blows a giant horn or like tuba in Joker's ear, and it like freaks him out and scares him. I really like the anthology sort of format of this episode because it's three kids talking about three different stories. It's very similar to the gambling episode with all the villains where they're all talking about how they almost got away or almost killed Batman. And this one is very similar. It's very, I don't want to say creep show because, I mean, that's every anthology we can say it's like creep show because that's the format. But I really, really enjoy this one. I would say this is one of my favorite episodes of the entire show. This one, Batman is just badass. There's a point in the episode where Batman is a giant, terrifying creature, and there's Mad Max vehicles and Mad Max mutants that are like chasing after or defending against Batman because Batman is an evil monster in this world, because the stories that these kids are telling are based on stories that the parents have said about Batman. So one of them is very positive of Batman. Oh, he's great. He rescued the old lady and rescued a cat from the tree, you know, just very tropey, not tropey, but very positive representation of a superhero that we're used to, like Superman. And then the other person is like kind of half in the middle. He's a complicated human, and he's not a weird creature monster. And that's what the third kid says. And that's probably his mom or dad saying, "Oh my gosh, uh, Batman is terrible. He's a monster. He flies in the night. Uh, he doesn't actually use technology. He's like, weird and supernatural and just, he's different. He's very different. And this kid, I don't know what his imagination is and what his view on reality is, because there's a huge gulf between how Batman is and how he describes him. Because, oh my god, this kid is describing Batman, and the images of that are following the narration of the kid, Batman's fangs are like this big, and he has like this giant eyes with like blood vessels popping, and he's like a crazy man, and he's threatening everybody's lives, shooting people in the faces. We have the mutants like trying to live out in the desert where nobody wants to live, where there is no law, and a very classic sort of post-apocalyptic 80s movie and Italian knockoffs. And Batman is like, "I'm coming to hunt you down." And this kid is like getting really worked up, being like, "Oh, he's a monster. Like, this is what my parents tell me." And the end of the episode, Batman comes in right in front of them to save somebody. And they get to see firsthand how Batman really is. And he's not at all what any of them think. And I really love that. I love character arcs. I love sort of the sort of reputation versus reality, and sort of looking at the differences between how somebody perceives you and how you actually are. And Batman is the perfect superhero to look at that, because he has no powers. He's very rich. He can get any gadget he wants. He's not Superman. So he's human just like the rest of us. He's not from Krypton. He's from Earth. So this is a very great episode. I really loved it. I said this was probably my favorite of the disc, but I'm gonna be bold and say it's my favorite of the series. Got anything?
Yeah, I got a few things. I totally agree with you. This is awesome, and I love how it's a put like how you said anthology type, and they change it through kids' eyes, like the man, the myth, the legend of who is Batman. I got a voice, actor's voice on this, and we're gonna go to the '80s Mad Max type sequence. The voice of Batman is Michael Ironside, who I just said I was
What?
talking about on the Vagrant. He's the voice of Batman, dude,
Oh my
in that
god.
apocalyptic. So I lost my shit when I looked that up and read it. So I just love
Because
Michael Ironside, dude.
yeah, that was a different
And
voice, and I didn't even notice. I was
yeah.
like, "Wow, this guy's
It-
like Batman sounds
and I
different."
noticed it's different. It's not Conroy, so I looked it up, and I was like Michael Ironside. That's why it was so fucking awesome. But yeah, this episode blew me away too. I'm with you. Could be my favorite as well. And then I looked it up. It's like '80s Batman episode sequence. I was like, yeah. And then you get the classic Batman too and Robin from like the old '60s,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was awesome as well. But yeah, my big thing was the voiceovers. It wasn't Conroy.
Yeah, because I didn't
Well,
even
maybe at the end
notice.
Batman when he's back, but during those things,
Yeah,
I don't know who was in the '60s one, but I know it was Michael Ironside in the '80s adaptation where he's, how could I say it? You got that monstrous Batman in that episode,
mm-hmm.
but yeah, one of my favorites, probably my favorite for sure of this sequence of episodes, or batch or whatever you want to call it.
Would you say is the best of the series?
It's top three. I'll go there, top three. I don't know about best, but top three.
Well, it's a very high honor no matter what to be
Yeah,
in top
yeah,
three
yeah, yeah.
out of 110 episodes. That's like
It's easily
top
top three.
1%, quite literally top half a percent, I guess. But
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
cool. So the next episode is episode 106, Girls Night Out. This one's
But that's all.
hmm? Oh, I guess you were frozen. Sorry. I just saw it going. I didn't
Yeah,
hear
I think
you.
it froze again. Have it.
That's
Damn
okay.
internet. But
Yeah. Livewire, Poison Ivy, and Harley Quinn join forces to wreak havoc in Gotham. With Batman and Superman away, Batgirl and Supergirl must team up to stop them and bring them to justice. Livewire is probably the coolest part of this episode. She's the electrical flying villain. She's great. I could not watch the TV screen when she was on the screen because, or at least when she was fighting, because, oh my god, the flashes were so bad in this episode. There's one point towards the end where Batgirl and Supergirl get trapped in a electricity dome by Livewire. And oh my god, I felt my headache. I felt a headache just immediately come on. I had to like quickly cover my eyes, and it like I was looking at the wall, and it was like somebody had a taser. It was like that flashing in this episode was so bad. So, warning to anyone with photosensitivity, I was suffering. So don't fuck around with this episode. I really enjoyed the partnership between Batgirl and Supergirl. They work really well together. They're very eye to eye. They don't have differences in methods. It's not Catwoman and Batman working together, where Catwoman is like, I'm gonna sneak and, just be quick about this. And Batman's like, we gotta go slow. We gotta assess the situation. I gotta go through the air duct system and, do it. And Catwoman doesn't do that. She walks through the front door and she's like, hey, security guard, I love you, and I'm going to distract you and pretend like I love you in order to steal hundreds of millions of dollars of jewelry. And Batgirl and Supergirl are similar in that they get the job done. They jump right in. They do some pretty, not bare bones planning, but they plan enough to where they can have backup and leave it up to spontaneity, just in case things don't go the way they want. And I really like the fight at the end of the episode where they're at Poison Ivy's house, and one of them uses an elephant made of vegetation to fight Supergirl and Batgirl. And it's just fun. It's another animal sort of focused one because Poison Ivy, she makes tigers out of vines and stuff like that, just like the elephant. It's a fun episode overall. I would say it's average. What about you?
I really enjoyed this one. I'm gonna put it above average.
Ooh.
Just that's my opinion for the fact that it's a crossover, and you get some Superman and Supergirl in this. So that really got me excited, and I like that. They kind of kick back the men. They let the girls go in here and they take over this whole episode, and I
Oh
like
yeah.
that change to it, and it's cool to see Supergirl. I wish we'd have seen a little glimpse of Superman and Batman together, but
Yeah.
you don't get that. But yeah, this episode was fun. Like you said, it's a fun one. You got some humor in it. I mean, there's a scene where um Harley Quinn's kind of getting on live. Did I say her name right? Livewire, yeah.
Yeah.
Livewire's nerves because she's messing up, and there's a scene where she's knocked out and Harley Quinn pours water on her and she's electricity. She like fucking electrifies her,
It just explodes in electricity.
electrocutes her or whatever. And she's totally pissed at Harley Quinn. I was like laughing out loud, like, "Don't you get it? You cannot throw water on electricity." She throws it. I'm like, oh man, that made me laugh out loud. But you get a glimpse of Penguin. He's kind of gone clean. It's funny because he's asking for help from Batman and Superman because Supergirl and Batgirl are just they're fucking with him, dude. And then you got Poison Ivy and well, not Supergirl and Batgirl. It's more Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn who trash his club and all that. But
Mm-hmm.
it's funny to see him calling out for Superman or Batman. I just thought that was hilarious. But yeah, it was a fun one. I got it above average for me for the crossover aspect.
Yeah, the crossover is one I did not mention, which is absolutely right because I really enjoyed that aspect too. And I was sitting there thinking, like, why didn't we get an episode with Superman and Batman? Why not? You know, I mean, I assume
Yeah.
it's copyright issues that was plaguing the '90s, but that would have been really fun because this was a really fun episode. Maybe I'll bump it up. You know, since I bumped down a different episode, I'll bump this one up, balance it out.
I'm trying to persuade you here.
Yeah. But the next one is called Mad Love. This is episode 107. Harley Quinn reflects on her first meeting with the Joker as she plots to eliminate her main competition for his attention, Batman. Note, adaptation of the Eisner Award-winning 1993 comic book of the same name by Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, who are the writers of the show, I believe. And that's a really famous comic book, which I haven't heard of, but I'm sure I've seen the cover art. Starts off with Gordon at the dentist and Joker as the dentist. And Gordon gets kidnapped, and yeah, this is another Harley Quinn origin episode. This one, I was really surprised that we did it again. Another episode about Harley Quinn falling in love with Joker for the first time. It's definitely the second one recently. I think this is the third or fourth one overall of the entire series. And I did not care for this one at all. It's, again, the same story of her becoming a security officer or an intern at Arkham Asylum, being assigned to Joker, nobody seeing the warning signs that she's falling in love with him. It's so tired. I don't see the point why this one exists. This one could have been the Batman Superman episode. I mean, Harley Quinn is great, but I mean, I don't, yeah. Stop repeating the same shit. Come on. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
puts a lot of Joker and Harley Quinn repetitive. I did like the backstories. I'll give it a plus on that. Um, I do like the way Joker cons. I don't like the way it is, but that's the type of guy he is. He just cons her into do anything, and like she's so. I don't like to say this, but dumb to fall for it. And
yeah, she's really naive.
yeah, naive. There you go. But I like the fight with Batman and Joker on a train. I did like that.
I don't even remember that. I think I was on my phone at
The
that point. So I saw her in the mental asylum, and I was like, oh, God, it's another origin.
yeah, it's. I like the way Joker tricks. Well, not he tricks her. He's real conniving. He has the same story he tells her about. It's really sad though. He was abused. I made him turn like that. But like he gets everyone with that. Like how Batman was saying, he's gonna tell you that a million times just to take over you. But I got this one at average. I agree with you. It's been already done, and but I mean I gotta give a little credit to Joker when he's on there. I just love the villain, so that's why I have it at average.
Yeah. I mean, Joker definitely, he comes in and you immediately, like, on Letterboxd, you give him an extra star to the rating because he's
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
I mean, he's really
he's there,
well
yeah.
voiced. I mean, he's great. I mean, it's fun. But he couldn't carry this entire episode on his shoulders again. Because he's also in the other Harley Quinn ones where they're doing the same, so. Yeah. Joker's the best part of this episode.
Yeah, I agree. That's all I got.
Cool. Episode 108. This one's actually really cool. Chemistry. Bruce Wayne, along with other wealthy denizens of Gotham, fall in love with their ideal mate, who all have green eyes. Poison ivy, I'm sure, is involved. Bruce decides to marry and gives up being Batman forever. Oh man, I really loved this episode. I would say it's number four spot, easy.
Wow.
Um, I really love the idea that Batman has fallen in love and has found like a positive purpose in his life, because I don't think anybody should be out there beating up criminals for fun in their spare time. There's something going on in your head if you are actively wanting to do that. I mean, crime is bad, but at this point, I don't think Batman's that effective at preventing crime. He's just really good at stopping it. But I really love that idea of
Yeah.
him getting taking off the cape, I guess, and giving up the title of Batman. I really love that. I love the asshole husband who just sticks his fucking head into the lasers and just walks through them. I had no
That was
idea that
crazy.
was gonna happen. That shocked me.
Yeah, that was awesome. Didn't expect it either.
Yeah, because like Batman is, or not Batman, Bruce Wayne is at his wedding or his, I guess, whatever the after party is, whatever it's called, reception. He's at the reception and he gets a call from someone, and she is like, "Hey, my boyfriend or my husband's about to beat me up. Please get the fuck over here, please." And he's like, "Oh, okay, I'm on the way." He hangs up. The asshole boyfriend walks in. He's like, "What'd you say about me to Bruce Wayne? Do you love him?" And she's like, "Ha ha!" Runs into the closet, presses a button. Fucking super powerful, dense, superheated lasers show up. And she's like, "No one's gonna get me." And we have no idea who this guy is. This is his first appearance in the episode. He just walks through the fucking lasers. And his head is like bleeding, like on the initial impact of the lasers. And he just continues walking. And you see a hole, because there's a side profile while he's walking through. And you can see the hole through his skull. And he just walks through and he's like, "You're coming with me." Scene ends. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I can't believe that that happened. And he kidnaps her and takes her to Poison Ivy, who he's secretly in cahoots with because he's not a human. He's a fucking plant monster, just like the elephants and the tigers from earlier. And she just rips his fucking face off. Again, I have no idea that he's not a human at this point. He just walks through some lasers. That's all he did. Okay, maybe he has like a really neat like suit or something. I don't know. But she's like, "You failed me," grabs his fucking head and rips the thing off, and it's just a green plant guy. And I was like, oh my god, what the hell? So I really liked that part of the episode. I gotta pull up my notes again. But at the end of the episode, they go on a honeymoon cruise after they get married, Bruce Wayne and his wife. And things get ugly. I won't spoil it, but it's fun. Poison Ivy's on a fucking jet ski. So, I mean, really fun episode. Number 4 spot for me. Anything else you got?
I really enjoyed it too. I'm with you on it. I thought it was really done well. Like you said, that scene where his face is just melting in that thing. Like, I was like, it reminded me of Terminator 2 when he's walking through the freaking jail cell thing like that, like liquid. And I'm like, it got me by surprise. But
I was
yeah,
thinking, yeah, just to
there's a
throw in
funny.
another
Oh, go
reference
ahead.
about
Go ahead.
lasers. Have you seen Resident Evil 1?
Yeah.
when they're in the hallway and all those lasers come up and it's like going up and down the hallway, slowly killing them one by one. It made me think of
Yeah,
that too. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good scene too. Yeah, yeah, it's funny because he when he's with Poison Ivy, that husband, he opens his chest and there's like leaves as his chest hairs. So I was just laughing out loud. Like I was like, really? I was like, oh no, man. I was like, they need a trimming. I said out loud. But yeah, this one was a blast. I have it at above average. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, this one's great.
Yeah, it's crazy to see Batman in love.
Yeah,
He's
that was.
changing. Yeah.
He's out of
Well, Bruce
the
Wayne.
mask for most of it. I mean, maybe at the end he gets in it, but
And
that's
he's
about
like
it.
Batman at the end, and he throws the wedding ring away when he sees her sinking in the ship. And I'm like, there goes his love life.
Now he's back to
Down the
beating up
drain.
people after
Yeah.
hours.
Back to it.
Uh,
Taking out criminals in tights, man.
Not preventing crime, just stopping it.
Yeah.
Alright, so the second to last episode of this entire series. Episode 109, Beware the Creeper. Exposure to a weird mixture of chemicals, including the Joker's laughing gas, changes straight-laced newsman Jack Ryder, which is very similar to the name of the main character of Vampires from John Carpenter, Jack Crow. It's very similar. I just thought of that while I was reading it.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Didn't
Jack
catch
Ryder,
that. Interesting.
yeah, and Jack Ryder turns into the Crazed Creeper, so it's a new villain, unless I forgot about him. He soon plans to kill the Joker and develops an unrecorded crush on Harley. Note, The Creeper, Volume 2, comic series, dated October 2006 to March 2007, incorporated some of the storylines of this episode into the newly revised original story. Before 2006, Creeper had no association with the Joker, except for being confused for him in Joker number 3, 1975. So that's really funny that they kind of pulled this guy out from like antiquity, and people thought he was the Joker in like the comic, and so they were like, okay, we gotta give him something. We gotta give him some justice. We gotta give him a good character because this is a really great episode. I really enjoyed this one too. Every time I heard the name of this guy, Creeper, I could hear Rob Zombie in my ear going, "Meet the Creeper, digging deeper." And it just made me laugh the entire episode. Every time they're like, "Hey, Creeper," and I can just hear Rob Zombie in my fucking ear. But there's a really cool showdown location between Joker, Harley, Creeper, and Batman, along with Robin, where they're all just, beating each other up. This is kind of the final big showdown between multiple villains and multiple heroes, which is really exciting. But I really do not like the ending to this episode because what the fuck? Batman slapped a huge nicotine patch on this guy because he's a plant man. I mean, he just turns into a plant. And Batman is like, this'll do the trick. And he slaps his nicotine patch on him and he weathers back down to a normal human being. And he's like, now you'll be a human as long as you don't take it off. Okay, bye. And he jumps off the building and, flies away like Spider-Man, I guess. And it cuts back to Creeper and he's like, why would I do that? And he fucking rips it off and he cackles maniacally. And I'm like, really, Batman? This is why Gotham is such a fucking nightmare city for everybody to live in, because you just do shit like this. You just slap a nicotine patch on the fucking supervillain who is trying to kill Joker. No one messes with Joker in this city. Joker is like the head honcho of this fucking town. And this guy is like, I'm gonna kill him. And Batman's like, yeah, here you go, buddy. Here's your nicotine patch. You're good now. Bye. I'm gonna leave you unsupervised at the top of the Empire State Building. It's really goofy. I'm making fun of it a lot more and giving it a lot of negative attention, but it
Yeah.
was really goofy. It took me right out. I was like, this is why there's so much
It's like
crime. Because Batman beats them up and does nothing
it's
else.
like it's like it's like leaving a crackhead with a crack pipe and then leaving. Like, don't touch it. Don't touch the crack pipe. Once
It's,
he leaves, he's gonna get it.
yeah, there's some really great videos online of like dog owners where they have like really well trained dogs, and they'll be like, all right, like we just cooked a mean plate of bacon. Okay, dog, you're really good about like sitting down and staying. I'm gonna put this plate of bacon here, and I'm going to leave the room. You do not eat the bacon, dog. And the dog is like front and center, and the plate of bacon is like right there, and the camera is like back here. And the owner will just like walk out of the room and close the door, and the dog would be sitting there like shaking and drooling because it's trying to break through its training and go for that. But the trainer has really trained it so well to stay. But you can see it. That dog is struggling to not eat to eat the bacon. So it just reminded me of, or just made me think, like, wow, Batman, you are very ineffective. You're not really trying to put in any, I guess, safeguards for like the city. Like all these random
Yeah.
supervillains keep popping up because he's not doing anything.
Way to think it out.
But aside from that, I love the episode. I thought it was fun. What'd you think?
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good. It's good to see that guy. It's funny when he's pestering Harley Quinn, like
Mm-hmm.
like obsessed with her, and she's like trying to kick him off, like. And then Joker says something like, "What did he say? She's got only one fool in her life, or something like that."
Mm-hmm.
He's all pissed off because he took his persona, but Joker's actually the one that did it, started all this. But there's a funny scene where he goes to get an outfit in a store, and he gets a Batman mask, and he's like, "Nah, it's already been done." And he throws it. I was like, "That's hilarious." I thought that was funny, but yeah, this is a blast. Except for that ending too. That's one of the, I guess, cringiest endings you could have in an
It was silly.
episode.
I
It's
mean,
like, okay, yeah, but overall I enjoyed it. Above average.
cool. All right, are we ready for the final episode?
Oh, I'm gonna tear up here.
Episode 110, Judgment Day. Oh, that was a good little accent I did there. I didn't mean to
Just
go
need
that deep.
Just need
But
the Terminator song in the background.
yes.
Oh,
Oh my! So one thing that was really funny, I noticed this on the Wikipedia page. It says the original date that these episodes aired, and this one, the final episode of the entire series. Can you guess what day it premiered on?
I'm gonna say 1998.
The day.
Wait, the day? Oh, the day it premiered on?
Yeah.
Like,
Like the date,
okay,
like month and day. Yeah.
okay. I'm gonna say, oh man, January 1st, New Year's.
I'll give you a hint. It's your favorite holiday.
October 31st.
Yeah.
Ah, that's all you gotta say. My favorite holiday.
This one premiered on Halloween. I thought that was really cool because this one is a very spooky episode. I loved it.
Damn, I was way off.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, you were right the second time, so that's good.
Yeah, all right.
But when a new vigilante uses lethal force to battle Gotham's criminals, Batman must figure out his true identity. It's a very simple story. This one is going back to the roots, I feel like. and just doing a Halloween episode, and I love it.
Mhm.
There's a really awesome villain in this one. He looks like one of the ring wraiths from Lord of the Rings. He has like the big billowing black cloak, and he looks great. He has a big like gavel, like a judge has, but it's like a as big as a hammer, and he just hits people with it. And he has a lot of beef with Harvey Dent, and that's sort of the main two villains of this. And Batman is sort of trying to figure out who this Ringwraith character is, and I think they say who it is, and I can't remember because I was writing down how awesome this guy looked when they revealed it. But this was a really good episode. I'd say it's probably number 6 or 7. I guess it's right about the halfway if I was ranking all 12 episodes of this set. I would say it's like number 6.
Yeah, it's a good one. I enjoyed it too. I like the look of that villain, the judge. It's called the judge, right?
I think so,
Something
yeah.
like that. But yeah, it's cool to see all those villains unite. They're getting a he's like a vigilante similar to Batman. I mean, he's out
Mm-hmm.
for justice and stuff, that wasn't taken care of in the courts, but I'm sure it was it Two-Face that was actually the judge? Like
I
one of
believe
his
so,
alter
yeah.
egos? I'm not sure, but I think it was. But yeah, you see villains from Riddler, Penguin, Killer Croc, Two-Face, they all get karma pretty much put to them. And you got Batman and him competing to to see who could get justice first. That was really interesting. But yeah, this was a good episode, above average for me. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. Well, we're done.
No way.
How's it feel?
Finally here.
Woo! We can finally. Well, I guess we'll. For those who are still watching, you'll probably see a notification about a day or so after this uploads.
I
With
have
what?
a done with a smiley face at
Oh,
the end of my note.
awesome! I love that. I didn't do anything fun like that. I should have done that. I love it though.
Should have drew bat ears or something
Oh,
on it.
yeah. But I, yeah, this feels really good to have finished. I mean, we did skip a few episodes here and there, and I'm sure one day I will rewatch the episodes to figure out which ones I did miss because there are 110. I think there's 2 or 3 movies that are in this set that we haven't watched, but we'll do a Withering Watch Pal on it. Where we'll
Yeah.
basically do the same format like this, I think, where one of us will talk about it and then we'll switch and then we'll switch back and forth. But wow, like we're done. Oh, thank God. We can go
It's
back.
hard to say.
Huh?
Like you said, since October, we were planning it, and it's just drug on. But I'm glad we went through with it. Didn't give up. We finished, and man, it was a ride.
Oh yeah. November 19th was the first episode's upload. I guess we
Wow.
did do an October episode.
Oh man, my
I don't
brain cells
remember.
are.
Yeah, because we did Demon Possession. Okay, that makes sense. For some reason in my mind, I was like, God, we haven't done it in so long. That's not as bad. That's about half a year. Exactly, actually. Interesting. But
A lot of episodes.
oh yeah, 110. I mean, we were talking about doing Twin Peaks after this, but I think doing a Withering Watch Pal is what we need to do. I think we need to do like at least a year
Yeah.
of Withering Watch Pal before we do another series.
Get our brain back up to core. It's probably mentally drained right now.
Yeah, like I was texting you as I was watching the final episode, and I was like, I can feel like the stress rising off of my shoulders, like because I've always had this box set just sitting on my table, and there's like 10 discs or something like that, and every episode was one disc, except for one episode which we did season 2, which is 2 discs, but like that is such a beefy set. It's such a like substantial amount of content in it. Just the episodes alone is like 40 hours, 50 hours or so. And that's a lot for a kids cartoon show. I don't think SpongeBob had as many. I
Um,
think Simpsons
yeah,
is really the only one that even rivals episode count.
yeah. I had a like a I had them pirated like on a D drive. They're shitty transfers, so I watched some of them like that. But it's good to go through the whole thing with a high HD transfer. And I mean, once you said the price, I was like, I gotta get it
Yeah, it was like 30,
on the
40
box.
bucks, I think.
Yeah, it's good to get back on a regular way of doing stuff. But I mean, it was a blast. The Batman was a blast, but it was a long time consuming process. And then with our schedules,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so before we leave for today, I would like to unveil slash reveal what the topic will be for this one. Because I have a lot of movies by him, and it's getting really hard to do dedicated reviews for this. And I want to give special attention to the director, all the way from Spain, Jess Franco. We're going to do a Jess Franco episode. I think that would be so fun. I hope you have enough movies for it. I hope there's at least 5 that you haven't already talked about.
I gotta check.
That's why I was like, I don't know. I was like, I know I have at least 5. I have maybe
Yeah.
7, but yeah, I'm getting really overwhelmed with my watch pile, and a good section of it out on my watch table out there. It's about this long of just Jess Franco movies. So
Wow.
I want to get them knocked out, and I think this will be a really fun theme to go with because Jess Franco is a very interesting director. I mean, a lot of his movies were unavailable to watch for many years, and it's been with Severin really that has brought back the spotlight onto Jess Franco. And Jess Franco died recently. I mean, it was 2017, I believe, that he died, and so he did a lot of interviews for these releases, and also for the DVD releases that were ported over to the Blu-ray with the case of later Blu-rays after he died. But he's a director who has so many weird quirks and that flow from all the way from the beginning to his career all the way to the end, and it will be really fun to sort of talk and find what the connecting tissue is between all 6 of our films, or 10 of our films, because we are doing 5 films now for the series. But what do you think?
It's definitely very interesting. I don't know how many Franco films I have. I know I have Severin where they're at. I could go through my Severin collection. I'm sure I'll find some there, but yeah, I could come up with something. I'll come up with some to pile them up.
Yeah, I'm pretty
But
sure Shutter and Arrow streaming has a lot of his films because they have like licensing deals with like Arrow Video, Vinegar Syndrome, Severin to upload it onto streaming, the new restorations. Because I recently bought a box set. I can't remember, but I remember I was like, oh, it's an okay box set, and I hopped on Shutter, and all 5 of the movies in the fucking box set are on there, and I'm like, so I could have saved money. But yeah, Jess Franco will be a really fun director to explore. I don't think we've really talked about him at all with each other outside the Jallo episode because you did Bloody Moon, I believe,
yeah,
which I own it and I haven't seen it. I will probably do that one. Probably not though, since you've already talked about it on the series. But I will keep it as a surprise because I haven't decided.
yeah.
But I have a lot of his movies, so yeah.
I'll find a way to even out with you. I know I'm barely digging into his films. Like I started, so I don't have many. But like you said, I have Shutter. I could look up in there and see. And If not, I'll pick up a couple now and then. We'll
Mm-hmm.
get it to that number I need for the recording.
Yeah, and there was something I was gonna say. Shit, I had a point. Shit, I can't remember. But yeah, yeah, sounds good. Well, I think that is it for this episode. We're going to film another one, which will be a surprise for anyone who's still watching. But yeah, this was so much fun. I'm really happy we did this. Thank you for joining with us again, and thank you everybody for watching.